Hello, guys. Welcome. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and
I am
Teachings.
TT.
Hope everybody had a great day. Um, solid kickoff of the earnings season. A lot of our earning plays, a lot of opportunities. You have to focus on these earning catalyst setups rather than always doing the market plays. Trading the SPY QQQs all the time. But anyways, let's start a recap. I'm just gonna do a very fast a video today. We'll try to finish it fast, so you can watch the previous videos if you need more details how we do it. But anyways, a quick introduction to anybody who's new. All these trade recaps and all these teachings are from any trades we take in the community, any trade ideas shared by our traders in the community, or any ideas that I share on Twitter, or any ideas that I share with you guys on previous YouTube videos. We trade a repeatable system, a Ripster EMA Cloud system that thousands of traders across the world use to trade consistently. We trade repeatable systems. Every morning we make a game plan, we make a watch list. This was our game plan for today. You can see a bunch of earning plays. Those whites are the earning plays, and these greens are the market plays, which have any news, Microsoft, Amazon, and then we have upgrades, downgrades, and some other news as well. Our focus today was mainly these earning plays. We have a support level, a resistance level, have initial bias, initial game plan, and then we decide what to do as the market opens using our system, not randomly. We follow strictly our system. We also have levels for cryptos and planning for the cryptos, and then we have levels for SPY QQQ and all those um, you know uh, stocks that we trade every day. These are called market plays, and we can have a resistance pivot and all that, and we can trade these using the Ripster EMA Cloud system. In addition to that, we also have some day 2, day 3 setups. Didn't really focus too much on day 2, day 3 today, but this is another repeatable strategy that I teach. Yesterday they were pretty good ones. I'm usually on voice first few hours of the market open, guiding everybody through the trade, the market, the planning, and most of my comments are on my alerts feed, timestamp comments, which I will show you. That being said, there are hundreds of traders in our community trading on the floor. We have the news bots. We have 3, 4, 5 scanners, option scanners, and we have support, resistance alerts, all that. So that being said, let's start with the recap for the day. So let's start with the a play that we did today was that was a bearish bias but didn't really work out of the gate. Was a loser today. This one we are talking about is Verizon. So if I go back, the pre-market planning I gave was bearish bias to short the pops. These were our two levels, 43 and 42.10. Those are our two levels. Right at the open, it flushed. So shorted under pre-market lows. But this is an amateur move. So the first candle is always amateur move. If you do not know what's amateur versus trend, watch my previous videos. The first move is always amateur move. The second move comes, which we call as a trend move. So you see that amateur move was bearish, but the trend move started to turn bullish. So we were short, but as it started to push over our EMA clouds, anyways, when I do not see any lower lows, right, these ones, then I know that's not going to go down, so I'm ready to close my shorts right away. And then as it pushes, so make a judgment call to close the shorts, and then it pushed right here. I could have closed here as well, but I made a judgment call. So you see that initial this short did not work. Yes, it faded later, the bias what we had, the pop, but by that time there was no interest because the big move wanted to see it open, and rest of the day it stayed in this range, right? I mean, I'm not interested in this 50-cent move, and it stayed in the range. So this was a morning losers for us. So always understand, you will see the shorts that worked and the shorts that don't work. So Verizon was a loser. Let's go to the next one. So next one we're going to discuss is PM, Philip Morris company, the company that makes the cigarettes and the vapes and all that. So let's see what were our planning on the Philip Morris. How did we trade that? Let's take a look. So let's see what was our planning in the pre-market. So planning in the pre-market for Philip Morris was, bullish bias to long, watch the 122 break. So that was our plan, right? So because the chart was really bullish, right, and it was all-time high, so it's a kind of A plus long setup because it's an all-time high. There is no real resistance up top. These setups usually work. I have shown you many times in pre-market in previous videos as well. So as soon as the market opened, I see the strength, and of course I already have given the already have given the pre-market planning to everyone. So the point is, since we are not an alert service, that people who want to trade PM, they're already watching it and taking it long right out of the gate. And that's what I said: long, watch the pullbacks. You can trade the 3-minute candles. You can add this pullback from here, and then it was a long all day. You could see that, as long as 512 holds, we do not cut. So you can see that I gave 130 target, which we met, and then we even pushed higher after that 130 target. So really, really good move on Philip Morris. Understand the daily chart, understand the pre-market planning, the levels, right? Pre-market highs, lows. It's not breaking 512, so your longs are already, your stop is right here. You see this area, and we want to see it, and it held it, it flagged. So when this happens, I know it's going higher, and you could see that from 126, then 127, 28, and 130, right? So that was the that was the trade on PM today. Really, really nice. I'm sure the options went good, but that was wherever you added, it was decent $3 or $4 per share profit with a risk of less than $1. Let's go to the next one. So next one we're going to look at is Triple M, and Triple M was so it was gapping up. So you see the difference between PM, Philip Morris, and Triple M. Let's see what was my pre-market planning. I clearly said in pre-market planning that this is support 141, 138, and resistance neutral to bullish, but careful of the 512 breaks. So I kind of sense that it's showing me some weakness in the pre-market, that we can break this 512s, and that's what it did. It broke, and then it broke 34.50, and then it became a short. So you short here, your stops are at 140s or over that level, and you can see my guidance, and I did mention that 34.50 break, and a lot of the traders, I think RGV was on Triple M as well. There's no long. Basically, we're not looking to long this. We are only looking to short this setup. And you can see everybody in the community has been shorting. Jaswinder, Cole, J Trades, everybody was hitting the short. And we don't care. Earnings is fine, but we care about the setup. So Triple M was our gap fill, gap and crap setup, right? There was a lot of opportunities to make money from 138 to 131s, to make some profits. That was a $7 move. So really, really nice. You can see how much the bearish the candle is. So we'll be watching tomorrow what it does here at 130s for a day 2 setup. And if you see that my target was MTF, right? MTF target. That's the target I gave in the morning. And by end of the day, we did meet that target almost here, right? You see that? And this is where you cover, initial pop, you can cover, hold, cover, and once it's moving up, you close here, make a judgment call, and then it calls. You could short it later in the day as well, but this was the morning trade setup. This is a gap and crap setup, right? See my guidance here. So let's go to the next one. So next one I'm going to talk about is LMT. So let's see what LMT was. So LMT again was on our watch list. Again, repeatable setups, right? This is a repeatable setup. My system tells me what to do, and I have done this 100 times before this one. So LMT, let's look at here. Bearish bias to short the pops. Support is 600, 605. Resistance is 612. And as soon as it breaks that 600, you take a short. If you're missing a good entry, you take a 1/3 size. And once it start working, you scale in, increase your size. You see that my guidance that the target I gave was the MTF Clouds. I gave the target right in the morning, and you see that we faded from that MTF, then faded all day, right? So there was a $20 per share. Even if you risk, like, let's say you risked $1,000, right? Let's say you risked $3 or maybe $4, right? You made $20. One risk to 5 reward trade. And look at this daily chart, right? We are breaking the 20 EMAs, and then we are breaking the 50-55 EMAs, which we didn't break, but that was our target. So you see how the MTF Clouds provide us the targets and how it gives us a confidence to short. Nobody should be long. Somebody was trying to long it. Yes, sometimes we bounce from the MTF, but our 512 EMA Clouds on 10-minute never told us to long, and this was another home run. The puts went few 100%. Beautiful trade in the community. So you have to short. If you long, you have to short as well. It's not hard. It's just the opposite. If you don't short and you just long, then you can't be you have to have open bias both sides. All right, let's look at the next earning setup that we did. That was GE. GE was another one that was a short. Let's look at the pre-market planning. The GE was bearish buys to short the pop, right? So again, the same kind of bearish buys, right? So you see how my bias kind of worked out. What I had planned worked out because my system tells me, right? It could never call the 512s, so that tells you it's going to be a short, and then it breaks the pre-market lows, then it breaks the MTF Cloud, and then the target I gave 175. We were a little short of it, but you see from 9:30 all the way to 11 a.m. there was a lot of money to be made on this GE short. All right, let's look at the next one. Next one, I'm going to take a look at is Microsoft. So Microsoft was on our game plan. I personally did not focus on it because I was focused on the news plays, but you can see there was an upgrade by Loop. I mean, not an upgrade. They reiterated buy rating, so that was on our watch list, and we gave these Microsoft levels in the pre-market. You can see that 417, 416 support, 419, 419, 60 breakout pivot. As soon as we break that breakout pivot is a long right away, and also there was a lot of flow coming in on Microsoft. All of our trading floor was right on top of Microsoft all day. There, you see this. There was a flow coming from the Ghost board. We posted the flow in the community earlier in the day. So there was that flow on Microsoft. Everybody was on top of the Microsoft. And when I saw the move, my guidance on the Microsoft was that, it was a long from the MTF. You can see that MTF long. And then 428 was my first target. And then 430 was my second target. So you can see that how it's breaking the MTF clouds, MTF1, MTF2. And then it's solid breakout on a huge volume. Today, volume traded was 157% of the average volume. So can you really see that this is a nice daily chart breakout? Do not ignore the daily charts and the MTF breakouts. It gives you a lot of conviction to take this trade, and we had it in the market plan in pre-market as well. So let's look at NVIDIA today. NVIDIA basically today was a waste of time. Some, people get so attached to a lot of these names, NVIDIA, Tesla. They want to trade it every day, right? So the trend in the NVIDIA was yesterday, right? This was the trend, right? There was no trend here. If there was a trend, it was a downtrend. But there was no bullish trend. There was nothing. I can't draw a trend line on this. I don't want to trade this action, right? What is it doing? It's going bullish, it's going bearish, trying to go bullish, going bearish, trying to go bullish, bearish. You can trade it, but you will end up wasting your time and you're not doing anything with it. That's why whenever it breaks, I tell no longs, right? I tell no longs, and I clearly tell no longs. Breaking, no longs. You could use these levels to long. Even if I use the pre-market level, I would still be chopped. So that's the thing. Identify the days when there's a long. Maybe tomorrow. Today was a consolidation day. Maybe it breaks out tomorrow and trends all day. Maybe pushes to 150. Who knows, right? But today was not the day to long. At least not in the midday. A lot of people in the community were new people. They were, do not know my teachings. They were like, "Hey, Rip, you said no longs, but it is bouncing. You said no longs, it's bouncing." Yes, there was a long right here. That was a downtrend line. And then there was this, 512 EMA Cloud, SPY, QQQ were moving. So that was a setup. So that was definitely a long setup, but it was not it was a chop. You're not going to get a crazy rush. This was all chop. This was all waste of time. So you have to understand that neither was it a short because it kept bouncing from here. Neither was it a long. Our long was in the morning. We did this long. After that, my guidance was, just stay away. And I always guide if the system up or down, because it could have easily faded here. If we don't cut our our longs, it could easily fade it here. So need to understand that whenever you trade NVIDIA, why was it a chop and waste of time today? Let's go to the next one. There were nuclear energy stocks. We've been trading every day. They were on our watch list today. And NNE, Oklo, they were all the short at the open, breaking the MTF clouds. Nothing much to recap, but just want to tell you, whenever the stock is running, one day they will have this sell-off, right? So that was a sell-off today. So that was an opportunity to short the nuclear at open. That's why we have it on our game plan. That's why we have it on our watch list. All right, so next one we're going to take a look at is new. So these ones, I personally did not trade it. So new was another, from pre-market planning, short under the MTF, 151, 153. And as soon as it breaks the MTF clouds, you have to short it, right? Just want to show you that worked exactly as per the pre-market guidance. So you need to use those MTF clouds. Look at another one here from the pre-market guidance. Let's see what was that. That was a PHM, short the pops, right? So that one as well, faded all day, short the pops. Now here is the one which kind of curled. That was FI. So let's see what was FI. So FI, even though we had a bearish bias to short the pops, but you can clearly see the difference that it pushed over the clouds. There was no short. Once it does this, there's no short. You can try the short here, but once it makes a higher low, you have to get out. And when it does a 512 curl, you have to long it. Then 3450 curl, then MTF Cloud curl. And it was a long all day FI, such an impressive move all day long. You know, from the 512 curls, it went like $5. And from this, it went $4. So you need to understand that if you're in community, make sure you read the game plan. You know, a very highly probable, repeatable system. That's what we trade. Earnings, focus on the earnings, master the earning setups, watch my earnings webinar or other webinars in the community, or watch my hundreds of recaps from last year. You will learn these setups and you will be profitable, keeping winners big and losers small. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.